pioneer groups programs in the Soviet Union, but in actual practice, nothing has been done because of lack of funds. If everybody receiving a salary and paying income tax, wealth tax, gift tax, or vehicle tax is requested to participate in the endeavor to raise resources for children, nobody will object. If the general masses pay 5 paisa per individual per year, we can have a very sizable budget and a very constructive and comprehensive policy, both at the center and in the states. When a child grows into a young man, he talks of sports and games. Look at the budget allocation for sports and games, which would help the development of the mental and physical potential of the young of our country. It is a small amount in comparison to what they spend in Middle Eastern countries. In a country having 100 crores of people, that is the second largest population in the world, children and youth are not given any financial expenditure support by the government. There is no compulsory item of expenditure for the promotion of the moral and cultural talents of the children in the national sphere. This work has to depend on some social organizations. I do not object to the participation of voluntary organizations, but I do feel that when a country proclaims itself to be a socialist country or a country on its march towards socialism, the looking after the youth and children should be the basic pillar of the policy of the country. What is the position in our country? The children are badly neglected. They do not know even their own parents. In the words of Jawaharlal Nehru, when a child is born in this country, it should consider the country as its mother, and the country should consider the children as their own. Do our children think of our country in that way now? Today, the looking after of children is done by the father of a church because they feel that is the way to serve God. Sometimes we give them prizes or we recommend their names to the United Nations organization or other authorities for the award of Nobel or some other prize. But do you think that a country like ours should depend on a father of a church for the welfare of our children? The moment a child is born in our country, it should be the responsibility of the country under the constitution and the rule of law as it obtains today. Mr. Speaker, Sir, extension of the period of maintenance of Internal Security Act is going to give comfort to those persons who want to carry forward the economic programs of the government. In a country which is faced with attacks from right reactionary and fascist forces, maintenance of Internal Security Act is a boon to us because it is the iron rod which a ringmaster uses to control a tiger. Government is the ringmaster and is controlling the fascist and right reactionary forces with this rod. In a socialist country where the people think of equality, where the people think of socialism, and where the people think of having a welfare society, there has to be control on those forces by means of government orders. We have enjoyed unlimited democracy during the last 50 years. Students, teachers, lawyers, businessmen, and everybody else thought that each was enjoying his liberty to a vast extent in this period of restraint. This period of 1 year may have been an era of restraint or may have been an era of discipline, but we have to discipline every type of person who is interested in a subjugating or sense of discipline. In this year of discipline, prices have been controlled and inflation has been controlled through disciplinary and educative measures. Big business has been controlled to the extent that they have now agreed to the dictates of government. Smuggling has been checked to a great extent, and smugglers who are operating from certain Arab countries are so much restrained in their activities and so much frustrated that they think that they are probably doomed. During my tour of Arab countries, various people told me that the earlier period in India has curbed to a large extent the movements of the smugglers in these Arab countries. Bad characters also have been hauled up in the streets of Delhi. It was impossible for women to move about after 9 o'clock in the night, but it is now safe. A police officer told me that 2 years ago it was so difficult for the people to move about in the streets, but it is now calm because bad characters have been hauled up. But the same time, I must give a cautious warning to the administration. The government had given instructions to police officers and other officials that the Maintenance of Internal Security Act should not be used recklessly. In certain cases, instead of the Maintenance of Internal Security Act being used against persons who are anti national, who are anti social, and who want to curb our democracy, it is being used for vengeance against certain persons. I have seen this stop.